because you could literally die from cold and water and mud.
I saw homelessness, and I saw the fact that this shelter or this dignified space needs to be portable, really portable, for people to be able actually to live and move, because these guys cannot own property, do not own property, and they don't have designated areas to live in. I'm not just trying to set for you a shelter now, because I'm giving you a dignified space. And what do I need? I need a light, a charging outlet, solar panel. For example, if there's an SOS emergency in one of the camp tents and they called for a doctor, how are you going to find? For us, it takes between the unit folded to be unfolded with all the features ready, 47 seconds.
This is The Board, built by founders, for founders.
1, 2, 3. Abdullah, good to have you.
Nice to have you.
You arrived
Nice
at
to
4
be here.
o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to try to keep it easy.
No problem.
No sleep, no nothing.
Just a bit. Got here, 4 a.m. So.
Okay. Nice. So, but at least you got your pitch done.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah, the pitch went well. I pushed through it.
Okay, that's good.
But as a founder, you get used to kind of this kind of stuff. So
it's the price you have to pay.
it's one of the prices that you have to pay.
Yeah. But who is Abdullah Raqqat and what is Mawa? For the ones that don't know.
Okay. So Abdullah Raqqat, I'm an architectural engineer, MBA, startup founder, has been almost all my professional life so far. Mawa, so I'm an architectural engineer. And by the time I almost graduated, the Syrian refugees crisis started. And a lot of refugees came to Jordan. And as you see it on the news and all of these outlets, the living conditions with the tents were
Horrible.
was so bad.
Yeah. Especially in the winter and in the rain.
In the winter and even in the summer.
Yeah.
Because
in the winter it was actually like unbearable because you could literally die from cold and water and mud. And at least in the summer, you can manage
maybe
a little
you can
bit.
manage, yeah. But imagine as well, you're like maybe in the desert or
it was inhumane overall. And
it was not a dignified experience whatsoever.
Not at all,
so as an architect, I thought I need to come up with a solution for this. Like, why can't you create? Because if you look at the problem, it has two pillars. So if you create a dignified shelter or a
an easy solution.
Then if you create something stable, means they will.
You can't move it. What if it's prefab?
That's the issue. Prefabs are very expensive, and if you look at the quantities of how many people, and we talk about like sometimes millions of refugees, you need so much infrastructure
and someone
resources.
has to pay for it.
Yeah, and someone has to pay for it. Plus, I don't know, like maybe from a political standpoint, giving anyone like a permanent stay maybe is something that they don't want to do. Maybe they do.
Obviously. Because they don't want to change the demographics. They don't want to deal with generations of refugees. And
at the end of the day, this is a temporary location because you need to have them in a more dignified and a better way. Whether we incorporate them or your politics, you want to try to send them back when things settle down, you don't want to do something permanent. And at the same time, the temporary solutions, you saw the living conditions. So I set out to design something that's portable, something that provides a dignified and secure living experience. And as any ambitious project, I made some progress in it, but it never came to life. And later on in life, I went to the UK and I saw homelessness. And I saw the fact that this shelter or this dignified space needs to be portable, really portable for people to be able actually to live and move, because these guys cannot own property, do not own property, and they don't have designated areas to live in. So they could sleep here tonight and they maybe then kicked out. So this is where actually the origin of Mawa came. We needed something to provide a dignified experience and at the same time be portable enough for one person to be able to carry it with no tools, no setup. And this was the foundation of the challenge, where from that, we were able to come up with the solution. So it was the other way around. So we set out what the design should be like, and then we worked our way backwards to trying to figure it out. And many iterations later, we were able to come up with our first alpha release, let's say, of Mawa. We were able to design it out of cardboard because we needed something cheap. We wanted something portable, that's
accessible,
lightweight, recyclable, and we wanted something that you can assemble and deassemble without any tools, not even a screwdriver, nothing.
It reminds me of when Paris hosted the Olympics and they made the beds for the athletes out of cardboard.
Yeah. I mean, different context, but I wouldn't like.
I'm just comparing the cost consciousness of it.
Yeah,
that they have all the money in the world, yet they gave athletes a cardboard bed.
And I don't see an angle to it, to be honest, but they could sell it off as recyclability or sustainability.
There's no angle to it. They're just being cheap.
Doesn't work, man.
That's it. Because it would make sense for you guys are using it.
For us, it would make sense, not just because of the low cost of the cardboard itself. It's because of how you manufacture or assemble the units.
Right.
Because if you're working with other materials, you have certain steps to manufacture and assemble these units. But with cardboard, you can fold them.
But I'm going to challenge you on one thing.
Yeah.
What about people that probably complain that it could be flammable?
That's why we, as I'm going in with the story, and I think you just went head up in the story.
Sorry,
no problem.
I skipped to this. I got excited.
Of course. Actually, it's the logical next step, because with cardboard we had few issues that we had to deal with: flammability first, and then water protection, moist. So, if we strip down why did we use cardboard, it was not just because the cost of the material was low. It was because dealing with it and folding it was cheap,
right,
and doable. So if I need to fold this, say,
I'm gonna look up a picture that I will put, but continue. Yeah.
So because
I want to see the last design.
MAAWA space X, and you can see it. So if you're trying to fold, for example, this wooden board, you need hinges. With cardboard, you don't need hinges. That's extra labor work, extra materials, extra process and steps in the manufacturing. So we've replaced the cardboard with another material that has the foldability, or similar way we can fold it to the cardboard, yet it's weatherproof, moisture-proof, and flame resistant.
Yeah.
And this is the unreleased images of Mawa, and this is.
Are you gonna share it with us, or
not yet? No.
Not yet.
Not
so
yet.
Now, how do I get pictures of the old one?
Just search Mawa X, MAAWA.
Yeah.
Space X.
Because I want to put it on screen when people are watching it.
Yeah.
So this is basically, let's say, this is your alpha, right?
Yeah.
This is your alpha product, and then obviously now there's alpha plus, alpha pro.
Or Mawa 2.0, as we call it.
Mawa 2.0. So this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this was the first original one with the cardboard.
Nice. But I see here some solar panels.
Yes. We extended our challenge. So I'm not just trying to set for you a shelter now anymore, because I'm giving you a dignified space. And what do I need? I need a light, a charging outlet, solar panel, glow and light. So even if you're off grid at night, you can still see. And all of this needs to come built in, no tools, no setup required. So right now we do have as I said, solar power, charging outlet, light, and some glow in the dark features, all built in within the unit. And we built another layer on top of it. So because I do have this solar panel, so I do have connectivity. And if I have connectivity, I can connect it to a dashboard for organizations, to communicate, control, and analyze these units. Because these, if you look at a camp or even a festival, for example, you're looking at thousands of tents, and if you need an access to any information, anywhere, whether that's from the shelter to the admin or the other way. For example, if there's an SOS emergency in one of the camp tents, and they called for a doctor, how are you going to find it? So you can't. And we did some surveys to actually verify this. So what we did is we were able to install this system where each unit can ask for SOS, emergencies, etc. within the unit itself, and for the admin to know exactly which one it is, who's the user, etc.
Interesting.
So we're trying to create this complete system where we give you a shelter that provides a dignified experience, and at the same time give you a connectivity and visibility on the grid.
So how much does a unit cost?
We don't have the estimate, the exact number yet for MAWA 2.0. It's as we haven't published it yet, but we're looking at approximately a tent average price. So we're not looking
for $100, $200.
Maybe a bit higher than that. We're looking at the $300, $400, $500 range, depending on the size, features.
Who would be your ICP in that case?
Depends. So because if you're looking at a humanitarian organization or a refugee camp or a first response, our actual target is be the first response. So because there are solutions in the market for such cases. So you have some durable 5 to 10 years with lifespan, and we're not competing with that because we're at the end of the day something foldable, something quick. So we're targeting the 0 to 90 days of a crisis. So the first 90 days, because in that first 90 days you need shelter the most. You can't ship prefabs or caravans yet.
Right.
You can't give them any proper. So you need something very quickly. You can deploy it very fast. And that's one of the features that MAWA, for us, it takes between the unit folded to be unfolded with all the features ready, 47 seconds. So I can set up a whole camp in an hour. So that's like where we target that niche. And we've gotten a lot of interest from us completely out of the scope for us. Festivals, for example. It's a 3-day event. They need something very quick. They get water all over the place, especially in Europe and in the US. And they're looking at it. And because of the amount and density of the people in these festivals, they need these digital tools to be able to communicate with organizers in case of emergency, in case of safety instructions, etc.
So, which brings me to my next question. Please tell me you have a patent.
We submitted 2 provisional patents.
Where?
In the US.
In the US.
In the US for how the design works. But
what about the concept itself? Can you patent that concept, or it's a bit hard?
That's what we actually patented. We can
patent
the mechanism of how the unit folds and unfolds. So whether I make it later on from whatever material for a 10 years lifespan, it's the same mechanism. So
because I'm trying to think how competitors would try to.
Of course. At the end of the day, someone would tweak something, and you can't get a patent as a startup. We can't go to every country in the world and get patents there because with patents for hardware, you need to go to each individual country and do that. But the more the merrier. I mean, at the end of the day, we are a startup and a for-profit company, but the goal of MAWA was to provide a dignified and secure living space for people. And if putting our product out there allowed more people to come and copy us and serve more people, well, be my guest.
Yeah, it might even boost your business.
Yeah.
Because you guys have first entry advantage.
But for example, our capacity to target 1, 2, 3 countries and more countries were done by local startups. Maybe they can improve on the product and to actually serve for that community, for that specific case, because in hot weather countries it's quite different from weather countries, and we can't know all of that at the start. So for us, it helps the cause. We are a fierce competition. So I tell my friends, I would give someone the unit and I would be very happy trying to see how they will be able to assemble it and manufacture it as good as we do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if they do, amazing.
Maybe you could collaborate with IKEA because they love assembling things fast and quick and simple.
Are they simple?
They love.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But it's not. I tried.
Thank you.
I failed. That's why I always get someone to do it. That's why I get them to do it.
Yeah. Because
I'm not gonna waste my time.
Too many moving pieces.
Yeah.
One of the things we did was try not to have this as an issue. So for the unit, you do not have a single external part.
Yeah.
So
you shouldn't.
You
because
don't
that's
have,
exactly how
you don't
lose
have
customers.
anything that you need to actually place. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything comes in packaged and ready.
Yeah. Where do you manufacture?
Right now we do it in Jordan.
Okay.
So probably
So it's the whole
Jordan.
company is headquartered, manufactured in Jordan.
Yes, we started in the UK and then we moved everything to Jordan. And
Why in the UK?
As I told you, I was doing my
that's when
masters
you
and I
okay.
started it in the UK. I got a startup visa and I was able to do that for a while.
Jordan is a good ecosystem for entrepreneurs, I believe.
I've been a part of the Jordanian ecosystem for a very long time, and I think Jordan, given the resources that Jordan has, is doing a brilliant job.
Yeah, with the limited resources that they have, they're punching above their weight.
Big time. Yeah, of course. And if you think of the Jordanian startup or the Jordanian entrepreneurs, even if they go and export beyond Jordan, they're doing tremendously well. And that's something I'm very proud of, to be like with the first batches of startups that I see now, multinational, multi-countries. And I can't tell you exactly how much, like maybe I'm proud of that, but at the same time, I endure like the fact that Jordanian entrepreneur with the limited resources and even the government and the ecosystem itself is pushing really hard for these startups to succeed.
And so what brings you to Incubator then? How did that collaboration and participation come about?
So as you know, our target market is mostly like humanitarian at this stage. And the cycle of working with these kind of companies or these kind of organizations takes a very long time. And we had an epiphany moment where we said, okay, we designed the shelter and we added the QR code and now I have a platform to control it. But I'm not tied up to the shelter because at the end of the day, I'm identifying a physical space and I'm giving it a visibility online. I can replicate this in real estate. I can replicate this in other locations. So we had a version of Mawa that's dedicated to facility management. Because our software, the one that manages the units that we send it shipped and built in, can manage anything else. So we made the system modular enough to be able to do these kind of things. And this is what brings us to Dubai. Because Incubator was, I think, one of the few, but I don't know if it's the only one right now in the region focused on PropTech. And I think PropTech kind of fits us at this stage. And that's why we're here.
Nice.
We're trying to maybe expand to the UAE.
So what's your ask on demo day? What are you guys pitching for?
So we are pitching a seed round.
Okay.
We are pitching a seed round, and we are pitching for more collaborations, more access, especially like we're not looking to sell to small companies, or we're not looking to sell other startups. We're looking for massive organizations, and the access that possibly could be done with Incubator can help us a lot.
All right, great. Abdullah, thank you so much.
Of course,
lovely having
cheers.
conversation with you.